Welcome everybody to AGI's Pre-Need Distribution, Pre-Need 101, Module 1 for this webinar today. I first want to start out by welcoming you and thanking you. I know that you guys could be in 100 different places doing 100 different things, and we're honored that you're going to spend a couple minutes with us. If you're listening to this today, it means that you're either newly contracted or you are just about to get ready to start selling this new pre-need product that we have for you and your clients. And I just want to preface this by letting you know that we're going to go through this pretty quickly, but because it's recorded, you're going to be able to go back through the content as much as you see fit, but we don't want to belabor you with a long webinar. Also, we're going to go through the backdrop, the backstory. What does all of this mean to you, the sales rep? Our goal here today is to give you a good overview to help you hone in on your conversation talking points so that you can articulate yourself to your client as somebody who is knowledgeable about what they're providing and a sound representative of the funeral home that you're representing. So without further ado, here's our agenda for today. We're basically going to go through various topics quickly, from the product to the one funeral home concept to some sales ideas, and we'll summarize it at the end for you. So moving on. What is the product? The product is Pre-Need. Here you can see on your screen we've got a great marketing piece that was developed by Global Atlantic, our carrier. We'll talk about them more in a minute. You can find this on our website as well as all of the other documents that we'll have on this webinar at www.agifinancial.com. So I'm not going to go into great detail on this piece and read it line by line because that's something you can do. But I do want to talk about pre-need versus traditional life insurance, because all of us have sold life insurance, or most of us have sold an insurance product of some sort. And with insurance, there's no guarantees. Shoot, there's not even a guarantee that the death benefit will be there when they pass away for a myriad of reasons that we all understand. So what makes pre-need that much better? If you've ever sold final expense insurance, what we do is we sell a lot of unknowns, and we sell billions of dollars of this every year. What are the unknowns? With traditional life insurance, we don't know when the client's going to pass, which means we don't know what the funeral is going to cost when they pass away. We don't know if they're going to have enough money to even cover the funeral that they wanted to cover when they first put the policy in place, and we don't even know if the death benefit will be there for them because the policy could have lapsed for a number of reasons. We sell billions of dollars of this every year. Clients like it, but it really doesn't do much for them in the way of guarantees. Now, let's talk about pre-need life insurance. Pre-need life insurance is everything that the client wants from final expense, except it's guaranteed. What does it guarantee? It guarantees that the funeral will be locked in its rate, meaning there will be no out-of-pocket costs when the client passes away, and there will be no increase in cost if the client passes away in the future and the costs have gone up. Number two, there's going to be no questions asked for the family or no hard decisions to make at the time of passing, because they've already put their contract in place not only with the insurance to fund the funeral, but the funeral home actually knows all of the details that the client wanted. And three, because we're on a short pay plan, there isn't a life pay option on here. So the client, from a planning perspective, has a great opportunity over a 10-year period to make low, easy monthly payments so that if something happens before they pay it off, their funeral's paid for, and then once it's paid up, the family doesn't have to worry about it. So just to sum it up, pre-need gives you all the guarantees that final expense cannot. So for you, the rep or the agent, what gives you the competitive advantage over everybody else that's either selling pre-need because it's offered through funeral homes or through final expense? Well, this was built by sales reps for sales reps. And what we did was we wanted to create an exclusive product and a proprietary product to make sure that you guys have the ability to sit with your clients and the reassurance of knowing that none of your competition is having this conversation. So we built a proprietary product for you. Our product pays the exact same commissions for graded and level benefits. Our product does not increase the premiums for unhealthy clients. This is fantastic because if you've ever sold a guaranteed issue product, you know, hit a client with some medical issues, the premiums go through the roof, commission falls out, and really nobody wants it. We've got a fantastic ironclad contract with the carrier. We've created limited entry points to our distribution model, limiting the amount of competition so that you guys can go out and you've got a larger footprint to go take advantage of the recruiting opportunities for you. And then we built it so that it's unduplicatable. And if you go to our website, you'll find this small brochure. I'm not going to go through it, but you can read it, and it's called Unduplicatable. And what it does is it just highlights everything that I've just talked about. The carrier is Global Atlantic. They've recently been upgraded to an A status, which is good for you and good for the consumer. That is the industry's highest rated rating. They're also a $56 billion carrier and the largest in this small pre-need space. So they are the only ones that can handle the high volume for this distribution model, and we're excited to have them with us. So I'm going to spend a couple minutes here on the one funeral home concept. Essentially, it comes down to this. We sell prearranged funerals for one funeral home only. What that means is that in your state, there is one funeral home that will guarantee funerals to anybody anywhere in the state. Currently, in the traditional model that everybody else is participating in, you literally have to have hundreds of funeral homes to cover the same territory. The reason why our special funeral homes do this is because funerals are not required by law to be held at funeral homes. Most of you have probably been to a funeral, and most of the time we find ourselves at a church or a chapel elsewhere, or maybe a VFW if it's cremation, which is on the rise. People are doing that in any number of places. So because we don't actually have to have a funeral home to host a funeral, and most people don't want to use funeral homes, our funeral home will guarantee these memorial services to be done anywhere in the state. So the funeral home can occur anywhere outside of a funeral home chapel. Don't combine funeral home with funeral services. What our funeral homes do is they utilize these independent outside vendors to make sure that the funeral has come together just like you would get from any of your local funeral homes. And to highlight this, on our website, we have another easy to read brochure called The One Funeral Home Network Is All You Need. And it will go into detail about exactly how the one funeral home concept works. So the packages. I'm not going to go into all the packages, but the packages are generated from something called a general price list. And a general price list is essentially a menu. It's a menu of options that all funeral homes offer. But to eliminate confusion, because you don't want to be a funeral director, you don't want to be in the business of trying to put together funerals, what our funeral home has done is consolidated all these into a few easy packages. Basically, the packages are created in a good, better, and best option. So when the client says, I just want X, Y, or Z, you know exactly and quickly where to reference them. The client basically wants a burial or a cremation. So when you ask them, you want to be buried or cremated, they're going to tell you, and all you've got to do is pick the package that corresponds, write it up, leave behind the GPL. I got to stress that again. On all of your appointments, you have to leave behind a copy of the GPL. That's federal law, and you're done. We have made this thing turnkey and as easy as 1, 2, and 3. So to find the packages, they're all pre-filled out for you. Go to www.agifinancial.com. Find your funeral home in your state. So just click on your state tab, and all of the packages will be listed out there for you. The basic sales concept that we find the most successful is to contact your clients for a periodic review. They like you, they know you, and they trust you, so they'll take your call. Set a quick appointment, pique some interest, ask them a simple question. Are you going to be buried or cremated? That will open up the doors to all the conversation pieces that you'll need. Talk about the advantages of prearrangement, and if you need to, close it on the second visit, because sometimes people actually haven't considered in specificity what they want. So in sum, pre-need insurance does what final expense won't. Global Atlantic is the biggest carrier in the market space with an A rating. We only contract with one funeral home in the entire state to service all of the state. Funerals are not required to be held at funeral homes, which is what makes our model work. And the GPL has been simplified into a few easy packages so you don't have to belabor a cumbersome document. You can sit with your clients and quickly and effectively provide them for what they want. Guys, I'm really happy that you were with us today. Listen to this webinar over and over. I know that we went through the information pretty quick, but all these documents are on our website at www.agifinancial.com. Have a great day, good luck, and happy selling.